give myself away. I give myself away so you can.
Hey, what's going on? This is Andre Sweeney, the Life Specialist. Welcome to the Good Life Show, the show that gives you the tools and principles necessary for an outstanding life. Today's segment is called the Quote of the Day, and today I have another awesome quote that I hope will inspire your life. It reads as such: I am not as good as I ought to be. I am not as good as I want to be. I'm not as good as I'm going to be, but I'm thankful that I'm better than I used to be. And this quote was by a legendary basketball coach from UCLA, Mr. John Wooden. Now, for the most part, I like this quote, and we've even heard it in church. You get somebody who stands up and they testify, I'm not what I'm supposed to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be. And certainly I understand where this quote is coming from. Thank God for small victories. Thank God for growing from faith to faith and from level to level. Thank God for accomplishments, and thank God for achievements and the step-by-step process that we all must take, and the reward system that we must give ourselves to encourage ourselves along the way. I understand all of that. But sometimes when we say this, sometimes we're operating in excuse. Sometimes we're not nearly as far as we should be because we're celebrating victories from the past. When we should be kicking ourselves in the butt to go forward, what we do is we sit there and say, well, I ain't as bad as I used to be. And maybe that's true. But have you reached your full potential? Who's taking score of where you should be? Who's moderating whether or not you're squandering opportunities? How much further down the line should you be by now? How much more accomplished should you be? So you have to be really careful. Yeah, you have to celebrate the small victories, but don't get complacent and don't get satisfied with being mediocre. If you're not where you should be, then the question is why? If you should be further down the line than you are, then the question is, what have you been doing with your opportunities? I'm all about making yourself feel better, but I'm not about lying to yourself. Yeah, take the time out to celebrate the fact that you've made it and that you're still here. Celebrate the fact that you're doing better, but don't get comfortable with being late. Don't get comfortable with not being where you're supposed to be. And don't get comfortable with squandering your potential. This is Andre Sweeney, the Life Specialist, and I'm here to help you get a life.
What would happen if a generation embraced this? Come on, tell me. Here I am.